Welch. I live in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. Proud Canadian. And I compete OCR. I became an athlete, I guess, I've never not been an athlete. I've always, at some point in my life, been involved in some sport. I think I started playing soccer when I was 4, as that was my main sport growing up. I played for the provincial team for a few years. I played basketball, volleyball, ringette was another main winter sport. Oh goodness, what else did I get into? And it wasn't until after that I took a bit of a hiatus, and then I got back into the gym just to work out. Really no goals other than just to get fit again. And a couple of my friends were actually competing in like figure competitions, and they're like, you should give it a try, you're pretty much there, you know, because I guess I worked out really hard at the gym. And it wasn't until my fiance, my now fiance, he wanted to do Spartan. I had always wanted to do Spartan, so we were talking about doing this, and this was like months before the actual date of the Spartan. I had completely forgotten that we had this conversation, and it wasn't, I think it was, I don't know, maybe a few weeks before. It's like, you're still up for doing the Spartan, right? I'm like, oh, I thought you were joking. But yeah, he had signed us up, and we went and ran our first sprint, and it was an amazing experience. And since then, I've been hooked. I like competing because, to put it simply, I'm just a competitive person. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, I just like to see what I'm capable of. And in order to do that, it means I have to push myself outside of my comfort zone. And so I think I like competing because it allows me to see myself progress and push the boundaries. And it's a feeling that I really can't compare to anything. It's just to see yourself being able to accomplish something you weren't able to yesterday or even necessarily last week, and you do it the day and you set a new personal record, and it's just this feeling of elation, and it's wonderful. So I like to compete because I guess satisfaction that I'm pushing myself. I've never encountered a sport where I've had this amount of passion for. I absolutely love it. Training isn't easy, and the training that is involved to be at a competitive level certainly isn't a walk in the park. And there are days where I feel like, oh, do I really, really want to go do that? But when you're in the middle of doing it, I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. With OCR training, there's actually quite a few different components that go into it that can translate to other sports. Like CrossFit is like, if you train a few times a week with CrossFit, it really translates well to OCR training. A lot of it is more functional body movement, a lot of grip strength, and a lot of being able just to support your own body weight, which is different than, like, say, Olympic lifting, where you don't necessarily need to be able to squat 500 pounds, but you need to be able to still have strong legs and do quick sprints. And I know it's cliche and it's a quote, but it's something that runs through my mind almost every time I step foot in the gym or lace up my runners, is when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. And that's kind of what carries me through. And also, back to being competitive, is there's this little voice in my head that says, there's someone right now that's training harder than you. And so I try to keep that in mind every time I'm training. My philosophy on training is train your butt off. Just go full out. You're not gonna hurt anyone other than yourself unless you give it your all. And I stand by that. It's not for everyone, so disclaimer, it's definitely not for everyone, but for me, that's, I guess, my take on it. Nutrition is key to me. It's something I'm very passionate about. I've been a vegan for the past, I think it's going on 7 years. It's just what fits for me. It's definitely not for everyone. Oatmeal is a staple in my diet. I love it. I always have a bag of it in a Ziploc that I think I have one in my glove compartment in my car, gym bag, everywhere. We have Costco-sized bags of oatmeal on standby. And protein powder. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention the brand name of it, but it's Vega Performance Protein Powder. It's something that I've been using for a few years now, and I love it. Absolutely love it. So there's that. I eat a lot of leafy greens. I make sure to get all my protein in, which is a ridiculous amount. Lots of carbs. It depends on the training day. I just have to make sure that I've gotten to the point where I feel if I'm working out and I'm not up to par, I know it's one of two reasons. It's either sleep or it's I didn't eat enough. Something's missing. So then I know for next time that I have to up my calories. Or the different training methods that I've incorporated, I've been able to do things I never thought before. Like some of my friends call me cyborg because it's just, I think part of it's the will and the want to do it. But then if you condition your body right, it's just, I know I keep reiterating pushing yourself and really tapping into what you're capable of, but it's true. It's unbelievable. If you put in the work and you're challenging yourself in different ways every day, the results are mind-blowing. Like it's really something, and I'd love for more people to know just what their bodies are capable of, not even to this extent, to this extreme. It's you don't have to settle. You can always be stronger, and you don't have to train 6 days a week for that. My hugest motivation is Jay. He really is. He doesn't know it, I'd say 99% of the time, but he knows that I expect a lot out of myself, and I have such a high standard set for myself that even just looking at him, I think, okay, I gotta get at it. I gotta get at it, and he's so supportive, and he's my training partner. Like we train together, and so by doing that, he doesn't let me off the hook. Where it's, and he doesn't know that, but that's what pushes me to try to outdo him and outdo myself, and always keep pushing.
Training with Lindsay is a competition. So it's, she pushes herself harder than most people probably would push themselves. So it's always a joy to try to keep up with her. It pushes you, myself, in my training, which is exactly what I need. So it's always a challenge. There's always something new. There's always something that's going to challenge you mentally and physically, and it's always a good time. I know how hard she works at it, and I know how competitive that she is. So seeing her, compete and do well at it, it brings a lot of joy to me because, I support her in everything that she does. So when you see somebody that you support 100% do well, you can't help but be happy for them and just enjoy it with them, I guess.
So this past year, I did 2 sprints. I did a super, a beast. I did the X-Warrior Titan. I did a leg of the Grizzly Ultra Marathon. I did another X-Warrior New Year's resolution run. I did the X-Warrior Fun Run. I'm proud in different ways. I'm proud that I completed a trifecta alongside my partner, which is something that we set out to do together, and we did it together. And there's We both worked really hard, and so we crossed that finish line together on all of our runs. And so that was really, really a beautiful thing, and it meant the world to me, and it's something that we'll always remember. I know I've said that I love X-Warrior, but it is such a well-run company. The races are so well organized that it's a pleasure to race in one of those or to be involved in any capacity with them, because you're taken care of from the moment you sign up to the moment you cross the finish line, and then after that. So doing the Titan is however many laps you can do in that set amount of time. And so I did that, and I did my 5 laps, so I got the Titan badge, which is what I initially set out to do. So yeah, I'm proud of that. With the exception of, giving birth to my daughter and meeting her for the first time, which is a pretty amazing thing. Setting a PB or, finishing well in a race you feel great, but at the same time, that feeling is very short-lived, for me at least, because I want to do better next time. And so I'm already thinking what I can do to get back at training and how to kind of work out some kinks to take us to the next level. When I don't achieve a personal goal, I tend to be very hard on myself, because every athlete, every person, regardless of what you're doing, you have off days. And so I find that on a weekly basis with my training. Like if I'm not able to lift the same amount as I could, last week, I know it's not because I'm, regressing in strength. It's because maybe I'm overtraining, or maybe the body's telling me something. But yeah, so it's definitely hard. And in the past, I've had the tendency to overcompensate for that. So if I have it, I'm just using say a simple bicep curl. If I couldn't lift as much as I could the previous week for whatever reason, then I would be relentless and not stop. I'd turn that maybe hour workout into a 2-hour workout. But that's also something that I've gotten a lot better at and smarter with my training. I think people don't realize the mental toughness that you need to have, especially for the longer ones. Not even the longer ones, the shorter ones even. For me, it's not getting down on yourself during the race or telling yourself, because there's always a voice, no matter who you are, inside that tells you, you can't do this. You gotta quit, you gotta slow down. You're not gonna clear that obstacle, It's just a matter of completely tuning that out and shutting that out and just pushing past that. And so I think it's the mental toughness. You can be in the best shape in the world, but if you don't have it upstairs, and that's something that you have to work at constantly, because it is a battle, it really is. It's easy to give up, it's easy to quit. On the course, I've seen lots of people crying, men, women, and those thoughts have run through my head on, some races as well, like thinking this kind of sucks right now. My body's in pain, I'm tired, and I'd love to maybe just pull over and have a quick cry. But it's getting past that little voice and tuning it out. That's what I'd say is the most underestimated quality of an endurance athlete. For someone who's starting out, I'd say online there are countless resources. No matter what city you're in, there are groups. Like I'm a member of Alberta OCR, which is on Facebook. And so you can communicate with all the people, and if you have a question about something, you post it and you will get 50 answers in the first 10 minutes. Like, it's just because in this sport, people want to help you. If I could go out today and just find someone and get them signed up for a race, I'd do it with them. Like, that's how people are so supportive in this group. So I'd say reach out, start online, start working out. You don't even need a gym membership. You can start off by running. Like, when I say go online, YouTube, there's tons to get you started. And I mean, there's always the option of hiring a coach or personal trainer, but a lot of my friends think I'm a little crazy too. They're supportive. They've been supportive no matter what endeavor it is through sports that I've taken on since I was just a wee thing. So they don't fully understand why someone would want to do this, but they're still there, they still support it. And like, here I am, 32, yep, I'm a woman of middle age, but 32 years old, and I'm stopping what I'm doing in terms of my work to pursue another dream that I truly believe in.
When I watch my mom compete, I feel proud how far she's come in like Spartans and working out and stuff like that. How she just moves around the obstacle course and how hard she works to be in where she is right now. So yeah, it's just, she's like a little spider. She can move around anything, so you don't have to be the fastest, you just work the hardest. She's really helpful and encouraging when it comes to sports. So she's always in the bleachers cheering me on. Yeah, yelling out, "Go with!"
I have a running coach based out of Calgary, and so he helps me out. I can run, but I want to essentially run faster for greater distances, and so he's very helpful in that aspect, and just putting together a training plan and kind of reining me in for training, because I have a mentality where unless I'm in the gym or working out, that time is being wasted. In reality, through talking tos, I found out that maybe there is such a thing as overtraining. My training partner is the love of my life. He is game for anything, always, no matter what, whatever crazy thing I throw on him. And it's always a, yep, sure, let's do it. And I mean, what more could you ask for in a training partner than that? I've learned that I am human, after all. Setbacks in the beginning were a lot harder to kind of digest, like injuries, than they are now, because you know it just comes with the territory. Like I was just explaining to you, I was monkeying around this weekend competing with a 10-year-old, and I ended up hurting myself. And so I had to take 3 days off, and you know, a while ago it would have been devastating, and I would have, but it still was. I wasn't happy about it, but I knew, thanks to Jay, it's not the end of the world, and you know, my life isn't over. So setbacks, I guess they can come in all different shapes and forms. Injuries is the main thing that comes to mind. Time is another one, but I mean that's where it comes back to juggling. Like you do miss out on a lot of things. I was talking with some friends yesterday where I think the question was like, raise your hand if you've ever skipped out on a legitimate social engagement to train. And like every single one of us. Yeah. Definitely, but that's what I'd rather be doing, and that doesn't mean that I don't have close friendships outside of our OCR community, because I do. But that's just, I guess everyone prioritizes things differently. And for me, that's one of them.